Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. How's everyone doing?
Assalamu.
I'm glad all of you can make it today. So just really quickly, the schedule for today, inshallah, we're going to have our talk with Gabriel Romani. Inshallah, he volunteered to do this. And after the talk's going to be about Prophet Yusuf's story and his most valuable quality, what he held on to despite everything. Inshallah, after the talk, in about 45 minutes, an hour, we're going to go down, have some snacks, and then we're going to play sports. And I want to remind all of you, inshallah, to kind of go over your intentions, try to renew them, whatever they may be, if it's to build a brotherhood, if it's to strengthen yourself. And inshallah, just a reminder, this is every month. We'll try to have everybody come every month so that we can build that brotherhood and go from there. Brother.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wa ashhadu an la ilaha illallah waliyus salihin. Wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. Allahumma salli wa sallim wa barik ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Barakallahu feekum wa jazakumullah khair. Just a quick CV or background check, inshallah, myself. So I've been, by profession, I was a teacher. I started teaching very early here in this community. I was teaching Al-Hijra, and then I taught sometime in Al-Nur, substituting, and then I moved to the Middle East where I was a teacher again, working with youth. Then I became a school principal, and I was running a school of about 2,700 students, actually two schools, 2 girls' schools and 2 boys' schools, and then became 7 schools when I was under Athena Education. So it was probably about 15 or 20,000 students. And then after some time moved to Malaysia, established a school there. And right now I work as an education consultant with Islamic schools and as a counselor. And I deal a lot with youth who are your age, up to high school. Some projects have university students as well. I have some Quran colleges that I deal with in Australia. I have some schools that I deal with in southern India, in Kerala. I have some schools that I still consult in the UAE and in America. So I believe, youth quite well, and I spend most of my time with guys like you. And my work is mostly focused on dealing with young men and helping them to become men, to make that transition into manhood, in a time where actually it's a bit confusing to even know what is a man. And even saying the word man can become a problem for many people, right? Masculinity can be toxic now and so on. And also many people are confused today, as they've never been before, by the way. This is unprecedented, whether they are men or women, right? Some women don't know whether they're women or men. Or there's about just a bit under 100 genders and different labels right now, if you know, supposedly, according to the law. And a lot of you might have a lot of questions. Are you looking at me and I'm looking at you and you cannot tell? Very difficult to tell how many questions you have, but I know you have questions because I had questions when I was your age. I still have questions. I'm still a very big questioner. I've done a lot of research and I still do a lot of research. Part of my day and my work is to look at research. And I also counsel about 4 people a day. So I can look at the theory and then connect it to the actual cases. And I know that a lot of you in your mind might have some confusions. And it's very difficult sometimes to ask your parents. And this is the reality. Your parents are amazing people. They have sacrificed for you. They've done everything for you. The problem is that they're busy and they themselves are trying to figure out in this difficult life how to take care of things, how to pay bills, basics. And sometimes they don't realize that there's a lot of challenges in your schools. We are living in a world of very, very competing ideologies. When they were back home, was it Sudan or Pakistan or Bangladesh or Syria or Lebanon, or wherever they were, it was different because the society was more uniform, was more homogeneous. They all had a specific way. Well, this new generation, it's called what, Gen Z? Is it right now? Right? This new generation has a lot of competing ideologies. And in these competing ideologies, it is very difficult for a parent, and I'm a parent, to actually compete and to succeed. I'm telling you straight up. It is very, very difficult. Your parents are not really as cool as Messi and Ronaldo and I don't know who, right? Whoever you guys idolize these days. It's just the reality. And you guys are not so interested in the things that they were interested in back in the days, back in Karachi or somewhere in, Khartoum or something, right? You guys have a different mindset. Why? Because you're raised in a different environment. And the environment that you are raised will, in general, dictate who you are. Your genes, yeah, you have your parents' skin color maybe, and their hair texture or mixture of, for those who know basics of genetics, of dominant and recessive genes. But bottom line is, you are kindled by your environment. You don't speak like them. You don't have their accent. You're not interested in the things that they're interested in. Like Ismail's not interested in what his dad's interested in, okay? There's a very, very big difference between a Turkish guy raised in Canada, born and raised here, and an actual Turk from Turkey. Very different. And not to mention that there's a progressive degeneration, you can say, over time. So if we're to compare our ancestors 200 years ago in terms of ethics and morality, also in terms of strength, in terms of immune system, how strong they were, in terms of their health, they were very, very different. Right now you might have guys in their 20s, or even early I've seen, losing their hair. While your grandfather would have had like a proper afro, a full hairdo. You know what I mean? It was very different back in the days. So with time passing, the environment is changing, we're becoming weaker, and there's a lot of questions. You're in Canada and everyone's got another idea. So now before, it was like the Pakistani way. Everyone's like, yep, that's it, right? The Bengali way, okay, that's it. The Lebanese way, that's it, right? The culture kept you in check. There was neighbors, you were raised by the village, right? Back in the days, your grandfather, his neighbor, when your grandfather was young, if his neighbor would see him do something, he could scold him. And your dad would be like, good job. Today, if anyone even looks at you, your neighbor looks at you in the wrong way, your parents might have a problem. It's changed. A lot of things have changed. Bottom line is, you have to understand these things, because the first step in dealing with any problem is to understand it. If we don't understand it, we're basically navigating in confusion. Just kind of like, I don't know what's going on. And whatever is the most appealing things, that's actually is going to be the one that you lean towards. You have to understand your own fitra. What is the fitra, guys? What does it mean? Yes, brother.
Innocence.
Okay, in a sense, yes. It is innocence. Great. Right. What else? Another word for fitra.
Starting point of
Yeah, like nature. The innocent nature of a human being, the starting point of a human being is their fitra, as the Prophet ﷺ said, right? That's a very famous, strong hadith, that every person is born upon the fitra, and then their parents, i.e. their environment, change them. All right, so that's very important. What you have to understand is that the things that are haram are usually the most appealing ones. Yes, you heard it right. Okay, things that are haram are usually the most attractive ones. For example, music. We all know we heard it. We all know we sometimes listen to it. Everyone knows what music is, right? It's cool. We grew up in a time, in our time, at least music was proper. These days, like you don't know what the heck they're talking about. It's all haram, but at least I could understand the lyrics. And there was some backup behind it. There was something they were singing about. Today, it's all about be this, F that, that's it. It's like, what? What are you talking about? But bottom line is, when you hear it, your subconscious and your nafs reacts to it. You want to move, you feel different. It changes your mood. And that's one of the reasons why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made into haram, because it can take you from depression into sadness and back into depression within a very short span of time. It can make you do certain things. All right? So haram things are very, very appealing. There's a beautiful hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, this is hadith Qudsi, where he sent angel Jibreel alayhi salam to look at Jannah and Jahannam. Right? And everything we say, we should always evidence it. As Allah says in the Quran, فَأْتُوا بُرْحَانَكُمْ إِن كُنْتُمْ صَادِقِينَ. Make sure you bring your proof if you're truthful. A lot of people talk today, but they don't bring evidence. It's either some secular ideology or some liberal ideology or some whatever their way is, their culture, but they don't bring some proof from the Quran and the Sunnah. All right? So we need to look at the evidence. So Angel Jibreel alayhi salam came and gave a report to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He said, Jannah, surrounded by difficulties, su'bat, difficult, hard. No one will enter it. Jahannam, surrounded by pleasures and desires. Everyone will enter it. Okay? We learn from this hadith that bad things are very appealing. Bad things are very, very appealing. It is. Come on, let's be honest. If you were to be honest and be like, okay guys, do you guys want to like study some mutun or like a usul book, or do you want to go and like have fun or something like that? I'll get to it in a second. And most people, if they're honest with themselves, they'll be like, no, I'd rather have fun. I'd rather go and like play around, play some video games, and so on. Would you rather memorize Quran, or would you rather like go play FIFA or something? Most people would want to go play FIFA if they're honest enough. That's just the reality. Why? Is it because the Quran and memorize? No, memorizing the Quran is a difficult task in terms of doing it. Remembering the Quran is an easy task. Okay, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us, وَلَقَدْ يَسَّرْنَا الْقُرْآنَ لِذِكْرِ. So Allah has made it easy for you to remember, but putting in the work is difficult. Much nicer just go and play some football, go listen to some music, right? Look at TikTok, slide. There's a lot of dopamine boost, very easy dopamine boost. While the real dopamine boost, if you memorize Quran or you do something great, will be usually at the end. It's a delayed response and a delayed reward. And that's kind of how it is in life. You could get the easy, quick fix. You're happy, you watch that video, you watch that inappropriate thing, you go, ooh, nice. Or you can wait and push hard, and then you get the real reward, the proper reward, a little bit later. But that is the reality. So in this competing environment, guess what? To be a Muslim young man like yourself, is it easy? It's difficult, man. You guys have to admit and understand it's difficult, it's hard. All right, the other thing is that a lot of people don't care about it. They don't want to hear you out. And again, as I said, it's not because there's a malicious intent of not doing it. It's because a lot of people are just not clued on. They just don't get it. They're too busy, right? They're just too busy. They're busy paying bills. They're busy paying mortgages. They're busy paying insurance. This is how the structure of the society has been made. And then they wake up one day and they're like, my God, my son wants to be a woman. I have clients, okay, who are traditionally Muslim, or raised by their Muslim family. Fathers came back from back home, 20, 30 years ago. And right now they're on hormone blockers and they're trying to change their gender. This is the reality, guys. And you can see that they make also legislation around this issue to stop people from actually pushing back on it. So what can we do as parents? Not a lot, actually, other than to remind you, وَذَكِّرْ فَإِنَّ ذِكْرَ تَنْفَعُ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ, and remind them for remind the benefits the believer. And you guys are the ones who can actually do something. You guys are the future of this ummah. But if you are weak and you believe like, what can I do? Well, you can do a lot. It's all, what matters is whether you want to do it or not. So in this competing environment, guys, you have to really be on the edge, and you have to understand what you're dealing with, and you have to understand how to deal with it. So today, we're looking at Surah Yusuf. Why they chose this surah is because this is the standard 101 lesson for young men to understand how to deal with fitnah. And what is fitnah? What are the main themes in Surah Yusuf? Who can tell me? Hands up.
Jealousy.
Jealousy is number one. Excellent. Thank you, brother. Great. Jealousy, yeah? All right, so let's go one by one. Jealousy. Who's jealous? The brothers are jealous of Yusuf alayhi salam. This is a very, very horrible characteristic to have. Okay, men should not be jealous of other men. All right, jealousy when it comes to that, competition and so on is more of the other gender, okay? Females. Men should never be jealous of each other. They should be happy when they see someone doing well. If you see your brothers doing well, one of your brothers is mashallah, handsome, he's good at sports, whatever, say Allahumma barik. Pray for him. Say, may Allah give me like him, without taking it away from him. So jealousy, Yusuf's brothers, it led them to such a point that they're going to kill him. All right? So jealousy, number one. You know the story, right? What happened? What did they do?
They threw him in the well.
They threw him in the well. And then they lied that the wolf ate him. Correct? All right. So jealousy is one of them. Do not be jealous. Whenever you see your friend, you're looking at him, and you're like, man, mashallah, bro, this guy, he's on it, right? He's good at soccer, good at basketball, he's good looking, right? He's mashallah, all that. And you're like, man, don't look at him like that, This jealousy can destroy someone. Say Allahumma barik, right? Actually, the correct sunnah to say is not mashallah. Mashallah, you say upon yourself. Say to when you see someone doing good, say Allahumma barik. All right? Cool. What's number 2? Let's see, someone else. Yes, brother. Patience. فَصَبْرٌ جَمِيلٌ. Yes. Yaqub alayhi salam, okay, is the father. A father who his son suffers. The sons are against each other. And here you have a father, an old man, who is somehow dissociated from them. There's some issues there. And he is a prophet of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He's just as any man. But you can see the suffering. Do you know that you can die from stress? Do you guys know that? You know you can die from a broken heart? Actually, you can die from it. So Yaqub alayhi salam, what happens to him?
He goes blind.
Hands up.
He goes blind.
Yeah, he loses his eyesight. Actually, you can do that. When you're stressed and you're super stressed, sad, and that's what Allah says, because of the sadness and crying and stress, he lost his sight. There is a connection there's a psychosomatic connection between your feelings, your emotions, your brain, and how your body reacts to it. It weakens your immune system. When you're super stressed, your cortisol levels are up. There's so many issues that happen to your body. Your body gets weak and you can suffer. And you can even die. So we learn here, though, in this stress and test, patience is the greatest virtue. Okay? Isbiru wa sabiru wa rabitu wattaqullah. You have to always be patient and persevere in patience and actually be more patient than the person who's opposing you. Because guess what? Life is all about conflict. If you guys are afraid of conflict, you will fail every single day in this life. If you're afraid to deal with conflict, and I'm not saying you gotta punch someone, but you're gonna have issues. At school, you're gonna have conflict. You're gonna go to work, you're gonna have conflict. Your boss is gonna push on you. You're gonna get married, guess what, man? Don't think when you walk in the park, you're gonna have conflict. You need to know how to manage conflict. You need to not have patience, when to have patience. You need to know how to control your emotions. This is all part of the lesson that we hear and we see from Yusuf alayhi salam. All right, he could have punished his brothers. They wanted to kill him, isn't it? Look how he dealt with them. What did he say? What did he say? Ithabu, go, you are antum tulaqa, right? You're free. Go. You're done. You are free. Right? He did not take retribution against them, even though they wanted to kill him. Right? So we learn amazing lesson of patience. Patience is not something like, let me wait. There's a difference between waiting and having patience. Okay, what's the next topic within this beautiful, amazing surah? This is the only surah that was revealed as an entire surah with the whole story. The only surah in the Quran that was revealed at once as entire surah. Yes, Allah calls it Ahsanul Qasas, the best of surahs, the best of stories, the best lesson. What's the next? Yes, no.
Trial.
Trial. What trial? Come on. Yes. Zina. Okay, what's that?
Sex before marriage.
All right. Yes, he used the three-letter word that's everyone like. Yes, sex before marriage, right? Zina. Okay, the fitna of women. Okay, the fitna of women. And this is something like, oh my God, what are you guys talking? I'm not talking about it. I'm telling you what's in the Quran. I mean, you guys read the Quran, right? Yes, hands up if you read the Quran. All right, don't go home today and be like, Brother Jibril, talk to us about these haram things, yeah? In the masjid, oh my God. This is what's in the Quran, okay? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us the story of Yusuf alayhi salam and the fitna of women. Not only one woman, I'll show you, it's actually more than one, and how Yusuf alayhi salam had to deal with it. Now, what does that relate to you? Well, obviously, you guys are all boys. What's the youngest guy here? Who's the youngest? 13? Hands up, who's 13? Who's 12? Got 12s? All right. 11? Oh, we got 11s as well. Plus 13, okay. 14? 15? 16? 17? All right. Cool. So, the fitna of girls, right? I hope everyone here likes girls. Yeah, inshallah, these days you don't know, but I hope everyone likes girls. This is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created in us. It's natural, okay? However, there's a paradox in the things that we like and we incline towards. It's almost like a contradiction. Allah made it that this is one of the most beloved things to man, but He also made it one of the most difficult things and something to be able, or you should try to be careful and control yourself. It's like you love it, but it can destroy it. It can destroy you. You understand? So, Yusuf alayhi salam is sold into slavery. You know that, right? So now his social class goes from the son of a prophet to a slave. And he goes where? Not yet. Yes.
Does he go to Egypt?
Yes, he goes to Egypt. Any? وين المصريين?
Yes.
Okay, one. Masri? Where's the people from Masr? All right, yes. All right, so you go to Egypt, and who is the most famous Egyptian woman in the world?
Cleopatra.
Cleopatra, right? You guys know Cleopatra? One of the most beautiful women that ever existed, okay? And you can imagine the high class and the status of this woman. So Yusuf alayhi salam, as a young boy, is now assigned to this palace, the palace of the Aziz. And he is now the servant. And he is growing up. And he is a very handsome man. Even the hadith say that he had like half of the world's beauty. Okay, very, very handsome. All right, so now he is, what happens? Who can tell me the story? What happens? Don't be shy. Okay, we're not doing anything wrong. We are just actually narrating what the Quran is telling. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not tell us something wrong unless He's given us information to know how to stay away from the wrong. Okay? And I know this is a bit hard to discuss because usually most people will not, adults will not want to talk to you about these things, even though you guys are reading these stories. But you're not understanding, you're not hearing, you're not comprehending. Therefore, you not know how to actually stop. I know again, guys, that you have a lot of questions in your head. And I'll give you some time for questions. How much time we have? 15? I know you have a lot of questions about girls. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that because you're boys. I mean, I hope. The Prophet ﷺ clearly said that the most beloved thing to him in this dunya is girls, women, and perfume. Do you like perfume? You guys like perfume?
Yeah.
You love it? Yes, great. All right. So the Prophet ﷺ, he told us that. I know you have questions. We're going to try to get to those questions. But don't be shy. Okay? There's no shyness when it comes to deen. but there's shyness and adab and how to deal with things. Okay? But to learn, you have to go beyond your shyness a little bit to understand what we're dealing with. All right, so what happens in the story? Who can tell me? Yes?
The wife of Al-Aziz likes Isa.
Likes who? Isa. Yusuf. Yusuf alayhi salam, right? So the wife of Al-Aziz, she's married. She is a woman of very high class, first of all. Okay? So that means she has access to a lot of beauty care products, and she got the best clothes and the best everything. So she's extremely, extremely beautiful. Or, guys would say she is hot. Okay? Very hot. And then, what does she do? She likes him. She falls in love with him, but it's not just like, oh, I love him. It's not just an emotional love. What is it? What does Allah say in the Quran? Someone else. MashaAllah, we got some very active brothers. Yes, brother.
Like she pulls him through the doors, not a shirt.
Why? Come on. She wants to do jujitsu or what? What does she want to do? Yes, brother. Come on. Come on, bro. Have some guts, man. Yes, brother.
Do you want to kiss him?
Okay. She wants to kiss him.
Intercourse?
Intercourse. Yes, bro. Yeah, zina. Yes, exactly. Okay. She wanted to commit zina. What does Allah say about zina in the Quran? Who can tell me a verse about zina in the Quran?
ولا تقربوا الزنا
Aywa. In
إنه كان فاحشة وساء سبيلا.
translate, please.
Do not come close to zina, it is indeed lewd and evil.
Yes. It is, do not come close to this illegal sexual behavior. It is an evil and a bad way. So she is actually not only like, these girls today, I'm in love with him, I'm infatuated, he's so cute. No. She basically wants to commit zina with him. All right? So you can imagine, it's usually guys who chase girls, true or not? Right? Usually, in general, guys chase girls, they like girls, they'll try to make it. Here in this case, a girl going after him. So you can imagine how much she wanted him. So what happens now? What happens in the story?
I'm pretty sure Yusuf rejects her, and then she says to everyone that he tried doing zina with her.
Okay.
In jail.
Before that. So she rejects it, he rejects her, yes.
She basically said that he was trying to do this with me when that guy gets
Yeah. Yes.
She locks all the doors in the house. So
All right. Excellent. So she was premeditating the whole thing. She planned it. She made sure all the doors are locked. And then she made a move to jump on him. And what did he do? Did he say, what can I do, man? Tough luck. No, what happened?
He stopped her about that. Or told him to not move.
More than that, yeah.
He ran a bit.
He ran away. He took off. He's like, right? Don't hang around. Don't trust yourself. Don't be in a position of weakness. Do you know why? Why do you think he ran away? Why didn't you think he just stayed like, hey, I'm the Prophet of Allah. Back off. Why?
Muhammad Bihar.
Yes, Muhammad biha. He also desired. He's a guy. He's a man. Don't think for 1 second that this desire is like something, I'm a monster. No. Allah has created in you, but He has given you a way that is halal, and then there's a way that is haram. The haram is like, these days like this, and the haram, sadly, and the halal is like this. Okay, what's the halal way? Yes, zawaj, marriage. Okay, what's the haram way? Man, a lot. You got zina, you got pornography, you got dating, you got all kinds of stuff. Instagram, TikTok, you name it. Everywhere it's fahisha. And the halal is like, this small. So he didn't trust himself. Who are you to trust yourself? Who do you think you are? He's a prophet of Allah. He is one of the greatest prophets. But he ran. He took off. What did she do? She said, man, he left. She chased him. She went after him. Imagine that. Imagine a girl chasing you. What did you feel like? Oh man, I'm so good, ain't it? Right? But look at this. You know what the ulama of tafsir say? What happens? Did he get to a door? Did he get to a door? Yes, he got to a door, yeah? Was one of the doors unlocked? Yes, there was one door that was unlocked, subhanAllah. One door she forgot to lock. Even though she did all the things that she was planning, it was one door. And the ulama said that, escape, Allah will open a door for you. وَمَا يَتَّقِ اللَّهَ يَجْعَلَهُ مَخْرَجٍ. He'll give you an opening. But who was on the other side of the door? Yes, the husband, Aziz, was there. And now, is she going to take accountability? Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. No? What'd she do?
She said that he was chasing her.
Exactly. So it's his fault. He's doing this to me. What are you going to do to someone who does these things? You see? I would say a bit more here about, but we'll keep it only to the story. But be careful. The Prophet ﷺ clearly instructed us, and we'll talk maybe, if they allow me to talk again. We'll talk again about this, inshallah, to give you an insight into what is this fitnatun nisa, the fitna of women. Why is it that the Prophet ﷺ singled it out as one of the greatest and most harmful fitna? All right, you guys need to understand that, because at one point you're gonna be married and you're gonna have to deal with women. Right now you're only dealing with your sisters and your mothers are inshallah the best women that you'll ever know. Trust me. Your mothers are gonna be the best women that you'll ever know in this life, especially in this generation. So make sure that you cherish them and that you respect them and that you serve them. Because you will see when you get married, it's gonna be a difficult task, brother. So if your mom, mashallah, is taking care of you, please give her the love and respect that she deserves. Okay? So, she didn't take accountability, blamed him. What happens? He ends up in? Not yet.
But she ripped the back of his shirt before it happened, and because her shirt was, and his shirt was ripped, they knew it was her.
Okay. So, she basically says he did it. Someone witnessed. And he said, okay, if his qamis is from the back, she's lying, he's truthful. It's from the front, he's lying, she's truthful. Why? Yeah, exactly. He was running, so she's trying to pull. Imagine, have you guys ever played and someone just grabs your shirt and pulls you back, right? It's like that. She ripped his shirt, man. Okay? And now, okay, did Aziz say, oh man, let me put my wife in jail? Nope.
People Yusuf in jail?
Not yet. But he blamed Yusuf, right? Do you know why? There's a double standard that's not going to disappear, guys. As much as this culture and society is trying to equate the two genders, it's never going to disappear. If you go right now, okay, to a police officer and you say, Mr. Officer, this girl touched me in the back. What do you think he's going to do? He'll be like, bro, come on, be happy. Okay? If a girl goes to the police officer, Mr. Officer, he touched me. What do you think he's going to do? Dude, you're going to go to jail, man. You're going to jail. You probably messed up your whole life. He's probably going to give you a few beatings as well. It's just the way it is. Girls are always believed, man. They can always cry a little bit and yawn and this and that, and the guy's gonna be like, yep. Even though you saw the proof. All right, so what happens next? The big thing happens now. Does he put him in jail right away?
No.
No? Yes.
Takes them in front of people.
He what?
Takes them in front of people.
Okay. In front of people, someone else, mashallah. I get the same brothers, mashallah, who know the story of Yusuf properly. Quick, because we don't have time. Yeah.
Look, has an answer, but he's too shy to put his hand up.
Yalla, Abu Bakr. She tries to embarrass him. Now, he goes to? Not yet. There's a big event.
He makes her apologize.
Okay, but still.
She showcases him in front of the women who were gossiping.
All right. So now, you guys don't know girls, yeah? Girls are like, oh, you like this guy? They start gossiping. They start talking, right? They start talking behind her back. Oh my God, the wife of the Aziz, she is like infatuated. She's like crazy about him. So she hears about it. Imagine, like the talk is like deep. So she said, okay, you blaming me? I'll show you. She grabs all of them, tells them come, invites them, has a party. Now you don't have one woman, you got like 50 women. 50 of the elite of the society, most beautiful women. Miskeen, Yusuf alayhi salam, she tells him come out. And she gave everyone fruits and they're cutting fruits. You guys ever had a fruit party? Right? Fruit salad, you gotta cut the fruits, right? She gives everyone a knife and fruit. And when they see Yusuf alayhi salam, he was so handsome that they were cutting their fingers. They said, what is this? Is this an angel? Literally the words they say, he's an angel. And now, what does she say, the woman? They say, oh, see guys, see? Because now they all fall in love with him. And what does she say, this woman? What does she say? Yeah.
If he doesn't want to participate in his actions with me, I'll keep him in jail.
Yeah, so now you got now imagine, before she was her and him only. Now she brought her back up, got like 50 women with her, and now he is now in a fitnah that you've never seen before. And what does use? This is where the sabr and the taqwa comes in. Now you're surrounded by 50 women, bro. You could say, I try my best. I mean, how can I overcome 50 women? Right? What does Yusuf alayhi salam say? It's a beautiful, beautiful statement. Someone new. Yes, Akhi. This jail is more beloved to me from what they call me to. He didn't say what she calls me to. From what they call me to. They all wanted him now. So he goes to jail. He'd rather go to jail than to commit zina. Maybe you could say, it was not my fault. Maybe you could say, what can I do? It was hard, man. I was around women. It's hot now. MashaAllah, we're still in summer. You're going to school. You pass by the high school. You see these holy name girls with nothing on. No, what skirts are these, man? A'udhu billah. And what a shame, wallahi. Catholic school, supposedly. Used to be a nun. Used to be a nun school, Assumption, holy name, St. Joe's. When I went to St. Joe's, man, I used to be called Saint something else. Horrible. Right? Horrible. Like, what is this, And you got to walk, and he's walking by the masjid. There's no respect. And you guys have to see that. And don't tell me that you're like, yeah, man, or it doesn't affect you. It affects you. It affects all of us. Even if you don't want to look, even if you don't want to, you'll see it sometimes. Yusuf alayhi salam says, this jail is more beloved to me than what they call me to. These girls don't even want you. Those girls wanted him. So he goes to jail. That's how strong he was, that he would rather go to jail than do something to disobey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. How many of us can say that we're even close to that level? Right? And he stays in jail. How long? Bid'u sinin, like 3 to 9 years, yeah? Most likely, something along 9 years. Imagine that, man. In jail, alone, surrounded by all kinds of criminals. How much time we have? Done?
We're at
Khalas.
35.
But then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, just to close it up, gives him the reward. What's the reward? What's the reward? He actually becomes the ruler, or one of the rulers, over a certain department in Egypt that was so important at that time because there was a drought. Yes? Treasurer over the khazain, or the storage places where they would get food because there was a drought. The Mufassirin actually say that in the end he ended up marrying that woman. Her husband died, and that he actually got her in a halal way. Okay, some of the Mufassirin have interpreted and have looked into some of the evidence, and they said Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the end gave her to him, but in marriage, in halal way. okay, because of his sabr. And he also rewarded him with becoming one of the leaders of Egypt and blessed him with his family in the end, realizing that dream that he had at the beginning, okay, the dream of 11 planets and the 11 كوكبا رأيتهم والشمس والقمر رأيتهم ساجدين. Okay, so, and that's what happened. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed Yusuf alayhi salam, but why did he bless him? Only, obviously he was a prophet, but because of that taqwa and his ability to resist that temptation. I know it's hard, guys, and sometimes you don't have anyone to talk to ask questions. Your bodies are changing, you have desires. This is normal. This is normal. Inshallah, I think the masjid is trying to provide with Shaykh some avenues for people to be able to ask some of these questions and get some real solutions to problems, to these problems. It's not a shame to like girls, but it is a shame to do some things that are haram. It's a shame to see and how they're dressing and what they're doing, because they don't have any shame. And as the Prophet ﷺ said, إِذَا لَمْ تَسْتَحِي فَاسْتَعْ مَا شِئْتَ. If you're not shy, you'll do whatever you want. So the take-home lesson from this is, I can't say that you're going to be like Yusuf alayhi salam, but fight. Fight. Be careful. Be careful where you are. Don't trust yourself. He ran. Okay? Trust me, you're not stronger than him. Don't think that you're in a situation that you're just going to be able to handle it. If you can run, run away. And running means just getting away from the area, getting away from the place, getting away from that situation. Whatever it is, head for the door. Allah will open one of those doors that look like they're closed. Allah will open it for you. And come to us, man. We'll talk to you. You can talk to us. It's no issue. Don't worry. I know, as I said, it's not parents, it's not the imam, it's not this, it's not that. It's a tough thing that we're dealing with. It's a tough time. A lot of people are ashamed. They don't want to talk about these things. They don't want to open up. People ask, are you okay? Yeah, I'm okay. Yeah, yeah, alhamdulillah. But they might be broken inside. So what we're trying to do is, in this community, I've been in this community for a long time, is to offer youth the ability to hopefully reach out and have a proper talk. And there's no judgment, man. There's no judgment here. Okay, this is not anyone judge Yusuf alayhi salam, anyone judge. The Prophet didn't judge till people actually started committing the sins and really doing things that were corrupting the society. So you guys are young men, a lot of energy. In the next few years, for some of you, the energy is gonna go up here. Okay, for some of you who are already there, you know what I'm talking about. It's tough. All right, hang on in there. I wish we would have more solutions for you. I blame myself and blame other people as well, but because we should be offering people real practical solutions, inshallah, to these problems. But inshallah khair, I think there's movement in that way. And I pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes things easy for you. Remember, okay, you're not better than Prophet Yusuf. If you need to get away, man, get away. Take off. And inshallah, Allah will provide an opening for you. Let's get some questions in. If you guys want, you can, if you don't want to say it out loud, does anyone have a number they can send the questions to? Guys have a WhatsApp group, put it on the WhatsApp group. I got a mic here, you guys can talk in the mic. You guys are on the WhatsApp group? Yes. Or you guys can have some brave ones who will talk, you know. There was always a Sahaba among the Sahabi who used to ask or used to say, you know, questions. And then everyone would be like, yeah. They would love to hear him talk. Because he would ask the questions the Prophet said. Okay, any questions? Brother, you had a question before, but yeah. You forgot it? No, you didn't. You just shot. You don't want to tell me. All right, cool.
Like, if Yusuf did the zina with the 50 women.
Do you mind if he talks in the mic?
Sit up, bro.
Just because other people can benefit, bro. Yeah.
Assalamu alaikum.
Don't worry, you can't hear in the speakers, man.
Okay, so if Yusuf had the choice, if he did zina with the 50 women, he wouldn't go to jail? How did the king allow that?
Allow him to do what?
Because the king thought that he tried doing zina with his wife, right? And that's why he was going to jail. So if he did the zina with the 50 women, how would he not go to jail?
No, so he didn't do any zina yet. They were kind of dealing with the issue, and the jail part came after that event with all the women. After that event.
Because you said he said, my cell is more beloved than...
Yeah, that was right after with all the women. That's when he said, yeah. Now. Okay, any other questions? Questions, guys? I know there's questions, they just don't want to ask.
I'll ask a question.
Yeah.
So if you have like a very a friendly relationship with a female, classmate, someone you go to school with, what's the best way, if you feel it's not going the wrong direction, what's the best way to close it without being a bad person or make things work?
Okay. How many of you think that it's okay, not okay, but boys and girls or men and women can be friends? Hands up if you think that they can be friends.
Possible.
Listen. Wait. Shh. Guys. I'm talking about, let's say, yani boys and girls, young men. Can boys and girls be friends?
No.
Young men and young women, can they be friends? Go ahead.
What if it's like for school or something, like to a certain point, like there's boundaries.
Okay.
Only for school.
Right. What if?
Like say there's a project or something you have to work on.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm asking. Can they be friends?
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? Go to your house and study together?
Only at school.
At school.
Lunchtime too, or?
Library? Share WhatsApp number? Only school, okay. All right, who is honest enough? If she's really cute and nice hair and all that, are you gonna be able to just think of her as a friend?
No.
Exactly, no. For men, it's impossible. Girls, they might friend zone you easily. We're just friends, right? But guys, it's almost impossible. I'm not saying it can never happen, zero. It's almost impossible. This is how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created us with this weakness, and that's why He told us to be careful and stay away. That's why girls wear hijab. Guys don't wear hijab. You guys wear hijab? No? Okay, girls have to wear hijab, okay? They're just very different than us. So no, a man and a woman cannot be friends because the guys, we cannot keep it only to a friendly level. We're always going to start liking them in a certain way that can lead to many problems. So I've been doing counseling for about 20 years. Most of the zina cases that I've dealt with, and it's hundreds and not thousands, they all started with, we were just friends. We did a project together at high school. We were just having lunch together. We were just neighbors. We were just going to the same club, whatever sports club. We were just friends. Just an acquaintance. And then it ended up in a lot more than that.
What if you're a really good Muslim?
Yusuf alayhi salam is the best Muslim. He ran away. He could have been just her friend. Okay, he ran away. He literally took a run for it.
You're better than Prophet Muhammad.
Sallallahu alayhi wasallam? No, there's no one better than Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. But he was better than all of us for sure, 100%, right? So then, can anyone be better than Yusuf alayhi salam from us? No, impossible. If he ran away, imagine you. Big difference. Yes. Questions? Yes, brother.
What if there's a fear for some people that they feel if they set up too many boundaries or they stick out too much, that'll affect them socially? So how to respond to that? If, let's say, a girl make a conversation with you, how can you turn it down in a respectful manner?
Yeah, so because again, we are living in a culture and a society where this is looked upon as something negative. For those who are in high school and mixed schools, and those who are in university and mixed universities, it's like almost impossible that you won't be talking to a girl. Not just that, they want to talk to you. They come to you. And sadly, usually, this is the female psychologists, the more you like stay away from and reject them, they kind of more want you. Okay? So it kind of causes problem. Like, oh, why is he not talking to me? The guy who's talking to her all the time, he's kind of like, yeah. But the guy who doesn't talk, and he's more like away and he's very more serious, she wants that. And this is one of the things that we see with the way women behave. So to answer your question, again, it's a very tough environment to be in. You have to really, really not be so nice, okay? And not allow yourself to be in certain situations. Don't let yourself become too friendly. And at the same time, if you pull away too much as well, that can be an issue as well. It's, to be honest, it's a difficult one because whichever way you go, because of the environment, you kind of will find yourself in a situation, in a very big problem. So I feel for you guys. I mean, I went to university here. I went to high school. When I went to high school, I was not a Muslim. When I went to university, I became a Muslim first year. So alhamdulillah, that really saved me. But it was tough, man. It was tough because I went from like one extreme in high school to another extreme in university. And the thing is, some of the girls that went to high school with me were in university with me. And it was very, very challenging, right? So my best advice to the brothers who are in these situations, stick with the brothers, man. Have a group of hard brothers who are going to remind you. You know, that guy was going to give you an elbow. Okay, the guy was going to be like, let's go to masjid. The guy was going to be like, let's go train. Let's go lift some weights. Let's go, you know, for fajr. Stick together. That's the one thing that saved me. I lived with the brothers. I stayed with the brothers. We had like about 5 of us. We studied together. We ate together. We lived together. Everything we did together. We came to the masjid together. They used to have Saturday night halaqas and we used to play soccer in the basement. It was always together. That's the only thing. Because if anyone would like, his eyes would be rolling around, the other guy would pop, keep him one, you know. We'd always remind each other. So I would say that's probably the best. Even like if we're in classes together, 2 or 3 of us, we would just do the group work together. Forget the girls, man. Only boys. Well, I want to be in a group. No. Okay? Alone, you can. With jama'ah, with brothers, yes, you can. I think it's possible. Nama.
Sir, look, what if you go with the girls just for answers, then you leave?
Look, I'm not saying that to you, but shaitan is very smart. He'll give you like different reasons. Just go for like a little bit, right? Get for the answers. Just a little bit, just for now. And then, whoop, you're gone, right? So be careful.
Do the same rules in social media, in real life, apply on social media as well?
Yeah, social media is worse because in social media, you have a different set of fears and you're more brave, right? Because you're behind the screen. In person, like for example, a lot of guys talk smack on social media. Oh, bro, when I meet you, this and that. And when you meet him face to face, what's up, bro? Right? So the same thing, behind the screen, you can say a lot and it's more dangerous because now you feel like, well, I'm not there, it's not really me, it's virtual, so it's not as bad. So there is something called virtual zina that people commit and virtual haram, a lot. So I would say it's more dangerous in social media than in reality.
How do we get married?
Oh, mashallah. All right. That's going to be another discussion, inshallah. But that's a very good question, brother. I appreciate you asking that because that's the actual reality. In the end, the real solution is there.
Like we need a theme for one halaqa next time.
Yeah, but look, guys, don't go back home now. I would like to talk to you guys again. You know, last time I had one of these, I didn't talk for years. I was not allowed to come back. I think maybe because there were some uncles as well, and they did it in the main gym. I mean, at the main musalla, the prayer hall, and a bunch of elders, they stayed back, and people were like sending questions, like sisters from above. They're like, "Oh, I'm committing zina with the Shia guy. I don't know what to do. Yeah, I remember this question. Huh? And everyone's like, you can see the uncle's like, and I answered it, obviously. I was like, told her what to do, right? So I think people didn't like her. So don't go back home and be like, yo, man, Brother Gabriel's talking this crazy stuff, but I like it. He's told me to get married now. And like, imagine like, a 12-year-old goes like, Mom, I just came from a halaqah. I want to get married. He's like, what? You're not going back to that masjid. Okay, please, yeah? I like to, inshallah. I'm supposed to get khutbah soon as well, so, I miss the community, man.
Sunni Islam, are you allowed to marry a Shia?
In Sunni Islam, are you allowed to marry Shia? It's a good question, man. I would advise you not to. Yeah, I would advise you not to. Stay away. 100% stay away. Okay? Yes?
Back with the social interactions and stuff, a lot of times like a handshake example, like I volunteered at a hospital and something like the lady.
It's a tough one, yeah, here.
She, how do you explain to them, how do you explain to a non-Muslim, because sometimes they just don't get it.
They don't get it. They want to, it's like you tell them and they still want to shake your hand.
It's like, why? So how do you explain from a non-Muslim perspective? Because sometimes
Yeah.
they just don't get it, like, oh, you're Muslim.
Basically, just tell her that out of respect, okay, for you, I don't want to touch you. And that's it. She might be like, but that's disrespectful for me. And I'm like, but really, if I were to touch you somewhere else, you wouldn't find respect, would you? Right? True or not? It's just that it's about where they want to be touched, right? And that they find disrespect if you don't touch them, right? So you tell her, look, your whole body to me is kind of like a limit. I know for you it's like certain parts, but for me, I consider you respectfully. Everything about you is respectful, yeah? So I don't see a difference between your hands and things that you think are untouchable. So out of respect, I don't want to touch you. I hope you understand that. And that's it. And that opens up, I think, a lot of talk about, like for dawah, a lot, man. Like I've said that to women before, and a lot of women had a lot of questions about Islam, and they were very, very interested in it. Because you have to understand, these days, women are totally disrespected. You know what the problem? They disrespect themselves the most, actually, by the way they dress and the way they, But then they say, oh, look at this guy, he looked at me the wrong way. Yeah, but look at the way you behave yourself, right? So when they see a man who really respects a woman, and we men should respect women, we have to take care of them, right? When they see this, because a woman is like harim, it's haram. It's like not allowed. There's a limit, a boundary, right? When they see that from a man, then they're really, really interested in this moral system, which is the truth, of course. Now,
How do you approach a girl in the halal way?
how do you approach a girl in the halal way? Say, can I have your dad's number? Okay. Or don't approach her. If you know her father, you can talk to him. If you're a man, you walk up to him and be like, hey, all right.
Last question, inshallah.
Last question. Anyone else? Because I had the same guys, mashallah, asking always, which is good. Muhammad, no question? You know it all, huh? Mashallah. Ismail.
I was gonna ask, like, what motivated you to become Muslim?
What motivated me to become Muslim? Brother Kamal gave me dawah. You guys know Brother Kamal. Me and him were buddies. We're troublemakers back in the day. Before this guy was born. It wasn't existent. Namak. Yes, you.
What if their dad died? Like, would you ask?
What if their dad died? Uncle, brother, grandfather, anyone who's in charge of them from the family members. Actually, guys, and they appreciate that. As a father, if a man walks up to him respectfully and says, hey, uncle, assalamu alaikum, ammu, I'm sorry, but I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but I know your daughter because she goes to the same school as me, and I didn't want to talk to her. I wanted to come to me, and trust me, I never talked to her. So I always wanted to talk to you and just make my intentions pure and sincere. If at any point, this is something that you'd consider, most men would respect that. They might be shocked, but they respect that, as opposed to if they find out that you've been talking to their daughter behind their back. All right? Now, okay. Last one, man. That's why you said, the boss. Inshallah, we'll continue, yeah?
Inshallah.
inshallah. Yeah.
بإذن الله.
You guys can write down any questions in the Google Doc. In the note area, you can leave us any questions, inshallah. And the next share,
جزاكم الله خير.
brother comes back and then can answer them for you. Before we go downstairs, inshallah, please, if you're not in the group chat, come scan the QR code, join.
Can you
And make
stop
sure
it?
that you guys vote in the polls. We're going to have polls.